Hello guys, this is Avcoor and I want to talk about the new Chaos character. I've hesitated to talk about him because you pretty much know what you're going to get. This guy is really good, extremely good. And honestly, I really don't have anything negative to say about him as a character. Blazing Dragoon, is one of those characters that represents the toxic aspects of the game. Of any game period, of any mobile game, of any idle game, you have this character. Morian is on, I wouldn't say she's better, but she's just more accessible. Because we had her so long, we just had more access to Morian. So we know how she works, we know what she can do. Blazing Dragoon is self-explanatory, but until we really start seeing him in PvP and tournament play, we're not going to really understand how well he performs, how good he is. He's extremely good, but with characters like this, they underperform because you're ignorant of them, and then they overperform when you understand them, and then they break the game once you start realizing what they can really do. With this guy, I think it's going to be the latter because of his setup and his kit. But that's just theory crafting. I don't know because we haven't tested him yet. We haven't really got to see him. I haven't even fought against him in any PvP matches. Where I have fought against Morian. So I know what she can do. But first things first, he is a ranger, so he's not going to be an assassin. He's not going to pick off weak units. So he's like kind of like overwhelming power. He's better than Celestial Spear, the best core elemental ranger. I'll say that. Stats wise, him and Morian are very similar. They have the 109 speed, which is really good. They have the 1.67 million HP. Her HP is a little lower. Her defense is a little lower, but her attack is 5,000 more than his, which makes a difference. But this guy has so much DM increased. I mean, yeah, we'll get into it. That his attack is extremely high, but this guy has ways to like surpass that output, which is really insane. Having Wrecking Strike is a really good skill, and it's really good for multiple reasons. First of all, it inflicts 200% of your attack to 3 enemies in the front row. Typical ranger stuff. You're trying to soften up the units so other units can kill. That's why he works so well with Elementalists, as she can come up, follow behind him with her attack that hits everybody and really cripple the enemy. That's why you see those overwhelming swings like Nick Chu. They do this crap, and he's a continuation of that. But it only gets worse from here. Damage increases as the number of hit targets decrease. So say for instance, there's only like one guy in the front row. His damage is going to increase. So you don't waste your damage output. Unlike other heroes who hit multiple units and waste their damage, like Elementalists and Anubis are big like perpetrators of this. Like they have like amazing damage, but because their damage hits everybody, there's a damage cap. So when you fight against like single enemies like Guild Boss, and when you do the temple runs, their damage output is lower than single target units. He doesn't have that problem, which is really amazing. 35% of inflicted damage is converted into damage shield. This is where it kind of gets like toxic. This guy is not a tank. You really shouldn't have this, but if you're a DPS, you wanna be able to sustain your damage for as long as possible. So a skill like this is preferred, but I think it's kind of over the top for him. I didn't think it was necessary for him to have this skill. And honestly, I wish they wouldn't have given it to him. Damage shield is a special shield that has converted from inflicted damage. Damage shield can exist alongside other shields. Okay, you gotta really look at this. damage shield is really good. First of all, the fact that it can exist besides other shields gives him a higher level damage mitigation, man. The DM on this guy is kind of stupid, and it's not required since he's the offensive unit. But anyway, he has priority over common shield. This is really good. Like, so Super Twins puts a shield on you, and you use your own shield, so you don't exhaust her shield, but you exhaust your own shield, which like gives you like survivability. So you're gonna survive that turn if everything. If you plan your team turns properly, he shouldn't die much. He shouldn't really die at all, really. If you have Super Twins like Lord of Time or some other good healer behind him, it's going to be hard to kill this guy because of this damage shield effect. Damage shield lasts for 3 turns and cannot be purged. I just don't like it. I kind of don't like the fact that it can't be purged, so you can't just blow this thing away. So he's going to keep it, and I don't think that's fair. I really don't. I just don't think this part of this kit is fair. And it gets more unfair as we go down the list. Self-will. 0 self-will awakening. Basic attacks gain extra 50 rage. Which, let's stop here. That's kind of dumb. Because when you look at his rage skill, if you put Berserk on this guy, he's going to be doing Heaven Wrecking Strike like every other turn. I don't think that's I don't think this is good. Basic attacks gain 50 extra rage. That's dumb. Dealing 102 damage to the enemy in front and mid row. So he gets to hit 2 units. I don't think that's fair. Inflicting an additional 5% of max HP and damage up to 100% of Zero's attack. I don't think that's fair. That's kind of overkill. This dude's damage increase is pretty stupid. It only gets worse from here, if you can believe it. And it has a 30% chance to apply Bust Gut. So this is where he kind of like falls along the pattern of Celestial Spirit, as he is able to put on status effects as he is attacking the unit. This skill is suitable for counterattack, but the target is limited to the single attacker. That's fine. I think this is a little bit of them like restricting his power, so to speak, I guess, or whatever. But the fact that he can like counterattack and apply Bust Gut and get all the other damage increasing effects and get extra rage, man, this is really toxic. Because Bust Gut is actually really good. Because it increases received damage by 10%, which helps the whole team. So if he doesn't kill this unit that he's attacking, there's a good chance someone else is going to kill it. And reduce received healing by 10%. It's going to be hard to save that guy that he's hitting. Last 2 rounds, up to 2 stacks, it cannot be purged. So no healer can wipe this off. So Lord of Time can't like purge this from anybody. I think that's kind of dumb. So it's going to permanently last 2 rounds, so there's a good chance he can get 2 stacks if he hits the same target. Which, if you spec his like talismans right, he can do that. Once it reaches 3 stacks, triggers silence or weariness effect. Cannot use active skill. Silence is really good. Cannot basic attack. Really stupid. This is why I didn't want to really talk about this guy, because yeah, I can gush over him, but he is so expensive to get. And someone who does like use this guy, it's going to be hard to beat him, even if he didn't have skill like building his character and his team. It really doesn't matter. Like, Morin takes a little bit of intelligence to use, but not much, because she's like half assassin, because one of her attacks actually hits the weakest unit, and this guy is just like a super ranger, so it's kind of dumb. Weariness, if you can get it. The good part about silence and weariness is the chances of you getting it in like real time, like PvP, is kind of difficult unless you like have spent a lot of money and you can spend the dust in order to get the like effects you want on your talismans, which I don't think that's happening anytime soon. So Imperial Glory is the self buff. You get like 40% HP and 80% attack. This will actually get worse as we go down the list. Eternal Nightmare. The Empire Dragoon ride is invincible. Gains 10% damage increase and 20% crit rate increase to warrior class. And applies permanent CC on self. Okay. This is so toxic, man. I can understand the 10% damage increase. That's fine. That's fine. Because a lot of characters get that are core heroes. They get that. But the 20% crit rate increase to warrior class, so that means he can tank bust. Because warriors are tanks. So he gets tank bust. Because crit rate helps you bust tanks. Because crit in this game is really potent. Because you get such a high damage modifier on your crit. So, yeah, that's not fair. It applies permanent CC. This is really unfair. So you can't stun him, you can't freeze him, you can't silence him, or any other forms of CC. So Anubis and freaking Elementalists and Valkyrie, they're done because they can't CC this guy, and that's like the most important part of their kits. If they don't CC, they're just like average units as far as I'm concerned. So they can't CC this guy, so he can't get CC. So Shield of Partha can't freeze her, so she's totally like being obsolete now. So she's obsolete. Anybody who uses CC in their kit is obsolete. So that's basically what this guy's saying. Like, so broken. That is so broken. And it's kind of not fair that he gets to do that. I wish they would remove the permanent CC off this guy. If they can make one like adjustment, CC is important in this game, and the fact that he can get around it is not fair. I'm just going to say that. I just don't like this character. He's really good, but I don't like him because why would you tune a character to be this invincible? I mean, you can kill him, but he gets revived and he's coming back from war. And he generates rage, man. He's doing too much. And when you look at his awakening, when I was talking about gut bust, he gets 50% increase. So 80% of the time, he's going to be able to apply that status effect on you, which I don't think is fair. And when you get to the Heaven Wrecking Strike buff, as the target number is bigger than 1, for each additional target, the attack damage increases by 50%. When the target is 3, each inflicts an additional 100% attack and damage. So you're reversing it. So he basically pays no penalty for multiple targets or single targets. He might not hit the multiple targets as hard as he hits the single target, but the damage he gets on multiple targets is ridiculous. So this guy's killing everything. He's slaughtering everything in the first and mid row. Man, this game is getting really toxic when they put this guy in here, man. This is really toxic. And hey, let's go to the last one. Imperial Glory. Enhanced effect. Increases damage by 15%. So this dude gets 10%, then he gets the 25, then he gets the next 15%. So this guy's getting 25 damage increase. 25%. So 25% damage increase on his attacks, on his special attacks, because damage increase affects your skills as well as your basic attacks. So this dude is slaughtering everything. And when you look at like something like Morian, like new effect increases speed by 5. Okay. Enhanced effect also dispels a random buff. Enhanced effect increases damage by 15%. She's not doing half as much as this guy is doing. Not even close. That is insane. Just like when you look at their awakenings, that is insane. I mean, come on, dude. She's only getting like, what, 5%, 5 speed? You can get rapid speed, so you don't even need this. This is kind of pointless. If you get rapid speed, you don't need that. Doomsday Judgment. Enhanced effect dispels a random buff. This is good, but it's not as good as what he's doing. I mean, not even close, dude. There's just no comparison. I just think we understand more and a little better, and so we can like build our teams around it because we just have more experience. But as this game progresses, if it will, he's gonna be the superior unit. That's my opinion, because I think he is just so toxic. Why would they do something like this? I mean, they basically just nerfed half of the meta with this guy. They just said, "Hey, man, if you spend money, you don't have to worry about half of the meta in this game," because that's basically what they want. And I think that limits his overall potential. The fact that few people can get their hands on him, and even in order to get these awakenings, you're going to need more copies of him. So I don't think we're going to see him as much as I would like to believe. We're not going to see him that much because he's just too expensive. Nobody has the money to afford him. Now we'll see Nick Chu and other people get him, but the rest of us won't be able to afford him. So I guess that's a good thing. But anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I think this guy is toxic, and I really don't like him. But anyways, have a good day, and goodbye.